Much for joining our live webinar, Student Life at PSU. It's an early start to a beautiful day here in Portland, Oregon, and we're very glad to be spending the next hour with you, giving you important information and answering your questions to help you prepare to join us at PSU next month. Before I introduce you to the rest of our panelists, I'll give you a brief overview of what you can expect today. Our panelists will share their personal experience and advice with you about what to consider as you are preparing to live in Portland, including the weather, items you should bring, safety, transportation, and housing options in Portland, PSU campus resources and classroom expectations, and upcoming ways to get involved when you arrive in Portland. We will have at least 15 minutes at the end of the webinar to address your questions. You can ask questions by typing them into the Q&A function in the webinar. Please do not use the raise hand function. We will moderate the questions as you type them, and we will answer them live, or if they are highly personal questions relating specifically to your case, we will follow up with you via email after the webinar. Before we get into the presentation, I'd like to give our panelists the opportunity to introduce themselves, beginning with Alyssa here on my right.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. My name is Alyssa Koida. I am a program assistant at the Office of International Student and Scholar Services. I specialize working with the Student Life team, and I also work with sponsored students who are usually sponsored by their home country's governments. I'm looking forward to introducing housing today, and I'm going to take it over to Mary.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and later good night. My name is Mary, and I'm the International Mentor Leader. Can't wait to meet you all next month during orientation.
We hope that Rishikesh Jaraj will also be joining us today as our International Graduate Mentor Leader to tell you a bit about what it's like to be a graduate student at PSU. And also joining us behind the scenes, we have International Student Life Advisor Yoko Honda. Yoko will be helping our webinar run smoothly today and will be moderating your questions as you type them into the Q&A function. Yoko is a former international student from Japan and a two-time alumna of PSU. She finished her undergraduate and graduate degrees at PSU and has worked as a student assistant, a graduate assistant, and an international student life advisor in the Office of International Student and Scholar Services. She organizes the International Student Orientation each term, so you have likely already been in contact with her via email. Thank you so much to Yoko for her help today. First, we'll start by telling you a bit about the International Student Life Team. The International Student Life Team is part of the Office of International Student and Scholar Services. Our team is made up of Jill Townley, our Associate Director for International Student Life, myself, Rachel, and Yoko, who are International Student Life Advisors, and Alyssa, who is a Program Assistant for our team. We work closely with the immigration advisors in the Office of International Student and Scholar Services to help advise and support you for all your needs while you are a student at PSU. We can meet with you to talk about scholarships, housing issues, interpersonal issues, cultural adjustment, leadership goals, financial issues, or really anything else. We're here to listen and support you, and we can refer you to other campus resources as necessary to be sure you get the best help. We also host a variety of workshops and events and activities each term, which are either free or at a very reduced cost, so you can meet other students and explore Portland and have a lot of fun. We send out an e-newsletter to your email every week, which has information about events, workshops, job postings, and announcements that you should know about. We also host the new student orientation each term, and we lead the International Student Mentor Program and train 40 mentors each year to serve as resources for new students. Our location and our email address are there on the slide, Carl Miller Center 660, and you can contact us with any questions or concerns that you have. Now I'll turn it over to Mary, who will tell you a bit more about the International Student Mentor Program. But first, we have a question for you. Have you been in contact with your mentor? people have voted, and most of you have been in contact with your mentor already, although not all of you. So your mentors have been emailing you, and Mary's going to tell you more about that now.
Yes, I think most of you have got email from your mentors, but if you don't worry. I bet your mentor is going to send you an email sooner or later. So your mentor and our international student mentor team are basically here to help you with your transitioning from your home country to study at PSU. So we're kind of like a bridge and then kind of like a guidebook you can use while you're around campus. If you need any help or you don't know, kind of like not quite sure which direction you should go, our mentor is there to help you. We are always available. So, and then we can meet you for your first term at PSU. So each term, mentor assists new international students from their home country to our university by connecting with students before they arrive. So that's why you will receive an email from us saying hello to you. Otherwise, you'll be like, who are you? Why do I have a mentor? So hope that makes sense. And then during the orientation, your mentor and will lead you and your couple other international students as like a small group, and then we will show you around campus and then lead you during the whole orientation. So don't worry, we are always here to help you. Okay, and next I'm going to tell you a little bit more about life in Portland. Portland is also called the Rose City because it has a really nice weather, and mostly during spring and summer. But as a matter of fact, Portland actually rains a lot. So if you are coming from a sunny, nice city, well, you got to see a different view because Portland normally rains from later in fall until early in spring. So that's why when you pack your stuff, remember to bring an umbrella or rain jacket. You're going to need it during the rainy days, and some warm clothes because you are coming here to United States in September. So you probably will stay here for winter. Warm clothes is needed, and then some waterproof shoes, and in the winter time in case the rain gets heavily. But don't worry, it's just really nice, and then Portland doesn't really snows a lot. So but it does a couple snows last year, but just not very often. It rains very often though. And then a few other advice will be bringing some snacks from your home country in case you can't get used to the food here in the first couple of days. And also, transportation in Portland is really convenient. So like public transportation, we have cars and TriMet bus and TriMet Max Train, where it can get you probably most of the places in Portland. And then we also have streetcar, and PSU student can take streetcar for free. Streetcar can get you around like the downtown area. It's really a nice place to explore, and then I bet you can't wait to see it. A picture of streetcar, buses, and TriMet Max Train.
Great, thanks, Mary. Some of you have asked some questions about living in Portland and staying safe, and what are some safe areas in Portland. Portland has a very good reputation as a safe city and a very open-minded and welcoming and progressive city. Our statistics for violent crime are much lower than in other cities of the same size. However, as you know, no place is perfect and no place is without crime. Even if a place is safe, most of the time, bad things can happen anywhere. So it's a good idea to play it safe and to have a plan, especially if you're not familiar with your surroundings. We recommend not traveling alone, try to have somebody with you, or not traveling late at night until you're comfortable with your surroundings. Always stay alert and have a plan for what you would do in case of an emergency. I actually commute via Max Train to PSU every day, as Mary was talking about the transportation. I always find it really safe during the work commuting hours. If I take the train later at night or from downtown later at night, if I feel uneasy, I try to stay alert by not wearing headphones to listen to music, or I have my phone handy so that I can text or call a friend if I need to. PSU has many support systems in place to keep students safe. Campus Public Safety is the main resource related to safety on campus. They're like the police department of the campus. They're the first responders in any emergency situation. In addition to offering support, if you call them, they will also help by escorting you around campus. You can call to have somebody come and walk you, for example, from the library to your residence hall or to a different building at night if you feel unsafe. They can also help you keep your belongings safe from theft by registering the serial numbers of your laptops or your bicycles. They're very friendly and trustworthy people. You can visit the link on the slides there to learn more about their services. And also when you're at orientation, you will meet some of the officers. It's a good idea to program some of those emergency phone numbers there on the slide into your phone and include that as part of your emergency plan. The next part of talking about life in Portland is to talk about housing. So we're going to poll the audience once again with a few questions about housing now. So you'll see the questions on your screen. And please vote now. Okay, almost everybody voted. And we'll share the results now with you. And Alyssa will talk about housing.
Okay, so it looks like from the poll, so the question number 1, which of these is your preferred living arrangement for when you get to Portland, looks like 36% said on campus, 0% said homestay, 45% said apartment off campus, and 18% said living with friends or relatives already in Portland. The second question, do you already have housing secured from the day you arrive in Portland? 67% said yes, and 33% said no. I would say 67% is a pretty good number. I do think it is pretty important to research before you arrive and at least are in the process of getting housing. Okay. So I will be covering housing in Portland. I will be talking about on-campus housing, off-campus housing, and homestays. So many of our international students like to live on campus or in dormitories while they are here in Portland. While applying for campus housing can be competitive, it offers many benefits such as direct access to campus and facilities, including the library and recreation center. PSU dormitories also provide a quick access to public transportation to every part of the city. So now I'm going to cover what is it like to live on campus and what are the benefits. Cost and ease. Living in downtown can be expensive compared to other areas around Portland. A benefit to living on campus is that many costs are included in the lease, such as utilities and internet, and are billed straight to your student account. Housing also does not require a credit score, first and last month's rent, or additional deposits, as many off-campus apartments do. Safety. All on-campus buildings require special access only granted to building residents. As Rachel said earlier, Campus Public Safety offers patrol campus 24/7 and offer an escort service for students who do not want to walk alone around campus. A sense of community. In each on-campus building, there is a resident advisor to assist with any questions residents may have. Resident advisors plan weekly or monthly events for students living in on-campus housing. It's a great way to get to know one another and build a strong sense of community. Academic support. Resident academic mentors are available during the year that focus on academic support and can also connect students to other resources available on campus. So what is the process to apply for on-campus housing? To apply for on-campus housing, please visit the on-campus housing website at pdx.edu/housing. The application itself is fully online. On their webpage, you can also learn about each building, rates and payments, housing accommodation, health and safety, and much more. Availability. On-campus housing, as of now, is still accepting fall 2018 applications for first-year students, transfer and upperclassmen, post-bac, and graduate students. There is currently a waitlist for family housing. Housing recommends if there is a student who is bringing either their spouse or their children and want to live on campus, they should apply for housing through the online application, and then they'll be put on a wait list if anything opens up. So some important dates to know. So International Student Orientation will take place on September 18th for graduate students and September 20th for undergraduate and post-bac students. Students participating in either of these orientations can request to move in before the regular on-campus move-in dates, which are September 20th and 21st. This year, the early move-in dates are September 12th, 13th, and 14th. Students that have signed up for on-campus housing and confirmed their room assignment for fall can complete an online form to sign up for the early move-in. The last date to sign up for the early move-in is August 21st. If anyone already has on-campus housing and are interested in this, please let us know. So next, I will talk about off-campus housing. In addition to living with university housing options, there are many apartment buildings near or even on campus, including Cyan, Goose Hollow, and the VU. These apartments tend to be more expensive than campus housing, but often have more space or other positives. While living directly on campus is a great option for many students, it's also quite common for students to live off campus as well. Popular areas include Beaverton or Tigard, suburbs or suburban neighborhoods around Portland that can offer lower cost and large spatial options than downtown. So what is the research process and where do you want to live? Since affordable housing in Portland is in demand at the moment and goes pretty quickly once listed, it's highly recommended you plan early and do research before you arrive. Spend some time researching locations, types of housing, and the typical costs so you are prepared with a search plan and a budget. Your mentor should be able to guide you a little bit in this process and provide you some resources if you need to start your search. So what about the distance, commute time, and transportation? Portland actually has one of the best public transportation systems in the US. It is very easy to commute to and from PSU, but the distance and different types of transportation can be quite different. Other popular methods of coming to campus include biking or driving, but parking at or near the university can be expensive. Also, one thing to mention about biking is that it is quite popular for people to commute via cycling to and from school. So you'll see a lot of people in downtown Portland in the neighborhoods riding their bikes. So it's a great way if you decide that your commute you can. It's maybe a quite fun way to get around the city. So for the price, keep in mind utility costs and extra fees. Not all apartments include utilities in the cost, so check with the landlord or renter about what is included and what is not. If things like water or electricity are not included, ask for an estimate of the monthly cost of what it might be. What amenities are included? Questions to consider might be, does the apartment or house include parking, cable TV, a gym, or other benefits that you're personally interested in? Deposit, contract length, and applications and background checks. Most rentals will ask for a deposit, both while applications are pending and when you are accepted. There is a safety deposit fee to cover any damage to the rental. If you can't complete a background check, there might be an additional fee as well, which is usually a larger security deposit. Many renters are understanding of the international student situation and may not require proof of past residence or employment, but some may be more strict or less willing to rent to those with these histories. So please keep in mind while you're looking for apartments. Now I'm going to talk about homestays. A homestay is a great way for students who want to experience American culture as part of a local family, learn more about US culture, and practice their English with native speakers right at home. Most commonly, homestays are a one-term commitment or longer, but can be month-to-month depending on the organization you sign up through. PSU does not provide homestays itself, but we refer students to local homestay organizations in the Portland area, including Ondeo Homestays and Focus. Both are listed on our housing webpage. All homestays usually include a private room, meals, high-speed internet access, and public transportation nearby. Keep in mind, homestays can be very different from what you expect. Hosts are very diverse and can range from single parents to older adults to families with young or old children or different types of animals. If you are interested in a homestay, it's important to remember to be a little bit flexible and have an open mind. I'm just going to quickly mention about rental contracts. On campus, we have a service, a resource called Student Legal Services. It is a great resource if there is something about your rental agreement you don't understand or need clarification. Student Legal Services can provide support to help you understand legal documents. And another important thing to remember is that for brand new students coming in, all of the students can access the Student Legal Services once the term begins. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about life at Portland State University. So PSU campus resources. While the International Student Life Team and international student mentors are happy to help you with any questions you may have, there are many other resources and departments that offer support or services. Some are more academically focused, such as the Learning Center, the Writing Center, Disability Center, and Advising and Career Services. So if you need help with a paper or don't understand something written, you can go to them and receive help. Other support focuses on wellness and community, such as the Student Health and Counseling Center, Queer Resource Center, Women's Health Center, different student groups, and the Recreational Center. In addition, there are also resources for students with families, including the Resource Center for students with children. We also have a Financial Wellness Center and a Student Legal Services. The Student Life Team is happy to connect you with any of these resources to make your journey at PSU easier. So if you're not sure where to get help, please come to us first and we'll guide you in the right direction. Thanks, Alyssa. Although being successful in your classes and ultimately completing your degree is the most important goal you have while you're at PSU, we also believe you can learn so much and enrich your experience so much by getting involved in your interests while you're here. PSU has many ways to get involved. One of the really common ways that international students get involved is by joining a student organization. There are organizations based on your cultural background, your academic major, your political views, sports, religion or spirituality, student government, and so much more. There are also opportunities to learn business practices by working with a student-operated service, or to be a reporter or an artist for the campus newspaper, or to volunteer in the gardens or the orchards on campus, or to plan events and activities for your peers, or to volunteer in the community. There's truly something for everyone, so don't get too buried in your studies. Check out the link in the slides for more information, or email us in the International Student Life team or your mentor, and we'll connect you with opportunities that fit you. You may be wondering as well about scholarship opportunities as a way of funding your studies while you're at PSU. The important things to know right now are that the applications for general PSU scholarships open on October 1st and will be due on February 1st. Do you have all of fall term to work on your application for general PSU scholarships? There will be a series of scholarship workshops during the fall term, and it's a good idea to attend those workshops to get tips for information on how to apply. There are 2 scholarships specifically for F1 visa international students who've already been enrolled at PSU. So you're not eligible for those scholarships at this time, but you will be after either a term or a year of studies at PSU. And those are the International Student Retention Scholarship and the International Cultural Service Program. Check out the link in the slides to learn more about each of those scholarship opportunities and plan to attend one of our workshops during the term to learn more. So we've told you a lot about possibilities for you outside of the classroom. Now Mary's going to tell you more about what it's like to be in a classroom at PSU. But first, we're going to ask you one more question. So here's another poll. And please let us know, what is your education level?
Okay, as for the result here, I think mostly students are from undergrad and grad school, and then we have a few PhD students as well. Pretty nice to see all this result. And then let's go over some tips and things about US custom culture. And so a few things to keep in mind is that PSU is a quarter system instead of a semester system. So that means we will have 4 terms, and each terms will be about 10 to 11 weeks. Normally in PSU, it's 10 weeks. However, if it's a semester system, it will be 15 to 16 weeks. But keep in mind, Portland PSU is a quarter system school. And then for undergrad students during class, you might see a lot of group work and homework. I think that applies to grad students as well, where it's like group work and project. And it's really good that each turn you keep in mind that you talk to your advisors and like a class plan, course plan, or like a career plan about what to do each turn, and then what class to take. And if you have any question about switching majors, it's always good to talk to your advisor before you making any choices. And if class gets harder and then you're not feeling comfortable going to class or for some kind of reasons, and it's also good that you talk to International Student Life team or talk to your mentors, and then we can help you, guide you through to some resources that might help you. And then generally speaking in US and in a classroom, it's pretty, I guess it still can say it's open. Everyone is pretty open-minded, and then you can share your idea and talk and ask questions to professors, and then interact and also respond. And I guess most professors will really happy to see their students having questions about class material. So don't be afraid to share your ideas during class and then ask questions. And then don't be afraid that you're international students and other people want to work with you. It's pretty friendly, but if you do get troubles during class, it's always feel free to talk to us. International Student Life Team or your mentors or either your professor and academic advisors as well. And then I see here during grad school, you will have a few like computer programs and softwares you might need to purchase to work with. And then midterm and final exams to expect. So have fun.
Thanks, Mary. Since Rishi's not able to be here today to share his personal experience with being a graduate student, that's okay. We have a lot of information about resources for graduate students for you on the next slide. If you're a graduate or PhD student, your three main sources of support, can you go to the next slide, please, are going to be your International Student Life Team and your mentor, your academic department, and then the Office of Graduate Studies. So particularly helpful in the Office of Graduate Studies is our colleague, Karen Pop, and her email address is there on the slide for you. She's available to help you throughout your time at PSU, especially with finding funding, such as a GA or a TA or scholarships. We have some helpful links there on the slide to get you started with the search for graduate school funding. And you can email Karen with any questions that you have. The Office of Graduate Studies also provides some special programming and support for graduate students, especially focused on writing skills, which are really important as a graduate student. The Learn at Lunch series of workshops are writing intensive, and those are offered during the quarter, and they're also live streamed. They provide Saturday writing workshops, which are presented by professors from the Department of English, and you have to register for those, but you'll get an email notification when they're available for sign up. They also host an all-day writing retreat with writing instructors available for on-site help. Research is also a really important part of graduate school, and the Office of Graduate Studies provides the Research Symposium, which happens every spring and is a great way to present your research as a poster or a paper, as well as the 3-minute thesis, which happens in winter, that's where you have 3 minutes to present your research to a panel of judges, and you can actually win a cash prize of $1,000 for first place, $500 for runner-up, or $500 for People's Choice. So those are some excellent opportunities that the Office of Graduate Studies provides to help you with your writing and presentation skills and to enhance your resume. So as we mentioned, we're in the process of scheduling some fun and exciting trips for new students coming this fall. Some of the activities we commonly host in the fall are hiking trips, tickets to see a timber soccer game, trips to the Columbia River Gorge, fun tours of downtown, and much more. So as those get scheduled, we will let you know about them. We also have a series of workshops about finding an on-campus job or scholarships or getting an Oregon ID and much more. So how can you find out about all these great opportunities? You should definitely check your International Student newsletter each week when the term is in session and your newbie edition of the International Student newsletter, which will be sent to you soon. We hope you make the most of your time at PSU and plan to join us. At this point, we'd like to open it up for you to ask any questions of the panelists. Yoko will be moderating the questions for us today. So if your question is highly personal or specific, we may just follow up with you later via email.
All right, so one question is, do I need to bring the linen for a living door?
Good question. Do you know the answer, Mary or Alyssa? Sheets.
Wow. You can actually, you don't need to, I mean, you can keep a blanket with you, but I don't think you will need to get like your whole, definitely not your whole mattress, like, or your back sheet, because it's, I think you can get most of them like right here. You can, I think you can buy them in store and they are not really expensive, but you can bring a blanket if you are living on campus for the first few days. Just keep yourself warm, and then later you can go shopping and then buy those matches and stuff.
Great. So we have some more questions from Shibenju, who's wondering if you get sick or if you're unwell, is there a doctor on campus to address the issue? The answer is yes. There is the Student Health and Counseling Center on campus, which all students, as long as you're taking at least 5 credits in the term, you are eligible to get services from them for free. So that's going to be the easiest way for you to get care in that situation. Your next question was, are there places where you can learn foreign languages like German or French in your free time? There are definitely foreign language courses that you can take. I don't know if that would be considered your free time, but you could take that as like an elective towards your degree. I'm not really aware of any kind of groups or anything like that on campus.
There is a Spanish club.
Spanish club. There may be like a German or a French club, and you could meet people who speak those languages and kind of practice with them.
I think we will have the event in September. I think it's the first week or second week of school. We will have an event where all the student group will have a shop in the park area, which is near the library. I'm so sorry, I can't remember what the event is called. Party in the Park. Yeah, Party in the Park. Yeah. So where most of the student group will show up, and then you can look around there and find if there's any language club that you're interested in.
Great. And so your last question was, you have submitted all your documents to the university. Do you need to carry the original documents with you? Are you referring, I think you're referring maybe to your transcripts. I would bring those with you. Yeah, bring them with you. Maybe don't carry them around in your wallet, but bring them with you so you have them available while you're here at Portland.
Another question, besides buying books from the bookstore, are there any other sources that students can buy back used books, maybe from other students? I am aware, maybe Mary can also add in, there is, I believe, a Facebook group where students can exchange books with each other.
And I think you can also, you also have options to rent books on Amazon. You can look it up before the term starts. Either check on the bookstore link, or you can check on Amazon or other sales back, like used book website. Most of the time they will have better deals compared to bookstore. But if your course require a password program or a code for some kind of like online resources, then I recommend you buy that through the bookstore.
One of the questions is there Wi-Fi in all on-campus housing? And yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
Yes. For on-campus housing as well as the whole university, you'll use your username and password that you would to log on to your student account to access that Wi-Fi. So another question, what is the welcome booth at the airport on September 12th, 13th, and 14th? And are you there if I arrive about midnight? So for the welcome booth, we'll have the admissions team, we'll have different advisors from different departments, as well as our staff to greet you. Unfortunately, we won't be there at midnight. We'll be there from 10 to 6 p.m. On the 12th, 13th, and 14th. So I'm sorry about that. Unfortunately, we won't be there that late. Oh, and one thing to add, if you are possibly arriving a little bit late, focus that we work closely with. They're not associated with PSU, but they do a lot of like English classes, events, homestays, and one other additional, they offer a free airport pickup. And so they just need information about when you're arriving, your flight information, and where you are going to live. And you can work with them to arrange a free airport pickup. So that might be something good if you're coming in a little bit later and need help getting to your destination.
The next question, as I enter PSU, who do I contact or where do I go initially? I guess that would depend on what you're trying to accomplish. If you are living on campus and you're just arriving for the first time, you would go to the housing office, which is located at Broadway, the Broadway building. So you could look that up online, or your mentor could kind of tell you where that building is located. But in terms of what else you want to accomplish, it kind of depends on what you need to do. You can always ask the International Student Life team, intel-life at pdx.edu, for where should I go now to do this certain thing. So a little more information will help us answer that question. Free transportation. You guys want to answer that?
Sure. Let's see. So the question is, on-campus transportation for students that we can use for free. I mean, besides TriMet and City Bus. So a great option is the streetcar. The streetcar is a slightly smaller and slower train than the regular TriMet, but it is a great resource if you are getting around downtown and going across the river to Northeast and Southeast Portland. They run about every 15 to 20 minutes, and all students, if you have a PSU ID, you can ride that for free, which is a great option.
Then the school also have a deal. If you take, I think if you take 3 credit or more, you can get a discounted bus pass to get around. And then also Bike Town is also available, where you can ride the Nike Orange bike, which you will see if you get here. And then PSU students have 90 minutes free ride each day. So that will help you get around campus as well.
Next question. Does PSU require students to take any medical tests before coming to Portland? Not really a test, but you do have to have proof of a measles vaccination. And you have to submit that, or there will be a hold on your account. And so you can find more information about that on the website, or your mentor can help you submit that form. It's pretty easy if you have had that vaccination to just submit that proof. That's the only one.
So let's see, another question is about the regular move-in, asking about how to find the details of the move-in time and the dates. So I would suggest going on to the housing website page at pdx.edu/housing. They should have information on the move-in dates and times. And then if you have received a housing placement and have been receiving emails, it might be good to connect with the housing team directly. Their email address is housing@pdx.edu. So if you wanted specific information about what time to move in, or in general, just asking any questions about what it's like to live on campus, or room availability, costs, anything like that, they're a great resource to connect with about anything on campus housing. Should I do the book one? Online class. Do you want to handle that one, Mary?
Sure. Sorry, I can take it a little bit closer.
Oh.
So as an international student, you can take one online class because you still need to attend school full time. So you can only take one online class, and that will be registered for online class, and then you can log into your D2L. And most of the course material will be listed out there. And it's required that you, I think it's required that you log on to D2L the first day of school, and let the professor know you are taking this class and see if your professor have any announcement posted on D2L. So that's our online database where students take online classes. And if you want to register for online classes, it's just go to Ben Web, and it's under register for classes. If you see web next to the course, that means this class it's going to be online. Is there?
A laptop renting service?
I think you can rent laptop from library, but you cannot take it out. I think you can use it just using in library, because personally I've never taken laptop out before, but I do rent laptop from library. You can rent it for 3 hours, and then if you need extra time, just go back and then extend.
Next question is when to apply for an on-campus job. Can you provide some information? Yeah, that's a good question. When is like really any time. Now is a good time, or you can wait until you get to campus and apply, but now is a good time in a way because a lot of jobs are still open. Students have graduated in the spring and they're trying to fill jobs that are open for the fall. So if you want to find that, the best solution for you to find jobs, if you're familiar with how to apply for a job, is to use Handshake. And so Handshake, Yoko's going to type in the link, I think, for you. Handshake is the on campus, it's like what PSU uses as a database for job postings. And so you can find those, you can post your resume and your cover letters, and you can apply for jobs that are available on campus through that Handshake. And so we will have more information. We're going to have a workshop about this in October, on like October 4th, I think it is. That'll give you a lot more information about it, but that's the basics of getting you started, is to look at Handshake, set up your account, and start searching for jobs there. ID card. One of you want to do the ID card question?
So you can get your ID card when you arrive on campus. You will need a photo ID, a state issued photo ID, or your passport to get your PSU ID card. So you can ask your mentor during orientation and have them show you where you can get your ID card on your campus or your campus tour. And then it's the ID issue place. It's on the, I think it's West Post trailer. Well, it's a, because the building is under construction, so we have it in a temporary place, which is next to our. It's across from the Broadway building. I think it's near Broadway building, and you can have your mentor show you where it is, and then also find it on campus map as well.
Question about the payment. Does
Payment.
Is there any option to postpone the first installment of the payment without getting fined?
I think I can answer that one. I think you can schedule an appointment and then talk to Finance Well at Financial Wellness Center, which is also in the trailer area, temporary house area. So you can talk to them, schedule like a budget planning meeting with them, and then they will help you plan out like a budget, or you can enroll in a payment plan, which kind of split your school payments like 3 times. You pay 3 times on every 6th or 16th of the first month, I think, when the school starts, and then the 6th on every other on the following months.
I think another thing to also add to that is that the advisors in the Financial Wellness Center want to see you succeed in school. And so they really try and work with you to figure out a way to pay for your school. And so I would recommend going to them if you have any questions, as well as just scheduling an appointment to kind of map out how you'll pay for your school for 2+ years, or even if you have a year left in your degree. So they're really a great resource if you have any financial questions. Let's see. What next?
Okay, so there's a question about, do I need to inform or send a confirmation mail to anyone that I will be enrolling for the fall term after I have got the admission? You don't have to let us know, but only thing that you have to do is to make sure to register for International Student Orientation. So that way we know that you're coming, and then we will be able to match you up with a mentor who will be able to answer any questions that you have.
There's a question about submitting documentation of your certificate in a sealed envelope if it's delayed. Yes, make sure it's just in a sealed envelope. That's what makes it official. So don't open that. But if it's delayed for some reason, or if you still haven't received that, keep it with you and bring it with you in a sealed envelope. Yeah, that should be fine. Should you register for all your fall term courses before you come to Portland?
Yes.
Yeah, you probably should. if you're able to. It's a good idea to do that. Classes fill up really quickly, so the sooner you can do that, the better.
The better.
Anything else to add?
Sometimes you will see holds on your account will stop you from registering for classes. Just click and check on those holds and talk to your mentors if you don't know where they are. But mostly it's measles holds and academic transcripts holds. But if you see them, definitely talk to your mentors, International Student Life team, or contact your academic advisor to resolve those holds and then register for classes. Highly recommend you register for classes before you come here, because classes do fill out really quick.
Although if you're a PhD student or a graduate student and your department has told you that you'll register for classes at their welcome session, then that's okay.
Yes.
But undergrads definitely register.
Definitely register, yes.
Thanks. The T-Mobile telephone SIM card at UC Davis. Yeah, I think so. This question about buying a T-Mobile telephone SIM card at UC Davis. Will I be able to use it at Portland? I think so, because UC Davis is California. T-Mobile is like a nationwide company. Yeah. It should be fine. If it's not, we have some free SIM cards in our office that you can come and try as well. If you find that it's not working, stop by. We'll give you one.
Is that those PSU SIM cards?
Are they PSU SIM cards?
Yeah, because I think PSU they also have like a SIM card where you can use like temporarily.
I don't know about that. So. Campus Sims is
Campus
what
Sims,
it's called.
yeah.
Mhm. Okay. I guess we have probably time for like one more question. So Pratik is asking about, you've registered for 2 classes. The third one is waiting, like you're on the wait list. What if that one never gets confirmed? Do I have time to register after I come over there? Mary's gonna answer that one.
Okay, I will say look up for a sports option just in case if you don't get at least one, so you still have a backup. But if you're on a wait list and then don't stress out, you can talk to your professor on the first day of school and let him know that you're an international student and need to take classes for full time, and ask him if he can sign you an override so you can bring the form to the register office and register for that class if you're on the wait list. And if you don't know where to find the special register form, you can look it up from our website. Not our website, but PSU website. Or also talk to your mentors, and then they will provide you a website, I guess.
Okay. There are a few more questions that that folks have asked us. So if we're able to answer those, we'll stick around and type the answers to you. But at this time, we'd like to thank you very much for attending our webinar. We hope that you've gotten your questions answered and that you're very excited to join PSU. We're really excited to have you. We'll be emailing a feedback form to you tomorrow. Please complete that survey. It will help us improve our future webinars based on your feedback. So thank you again and have a great rest of your day. Bye. Bye.